This is Alec Murdoch. I need police and an ambulance immediately.
Murdoch Death in the Family official podcast is here. I'm joining Patricia Arquette, Jason Clark, and the cast to uncover all things Murdoch.
Family first.
To unravel the story piece by piece was really surprising because you don't want to believe it.
Murdoch Death in the Family official podcast, Wednesdays. And stream Murdoch Death in the Family on Hulu and Hulu on Disney Plus for bundle subscribers. Terms apply.
Hey everybody, it's Babs. You know, one thing that makes the holiday season so magical is the traditions we share year after year. And that's why I'm so excited to tell you about Birch Lane. Their classic furniture and festive decor is carefully crafted to bring joy to every seasonal celebration. Plus, it's delivered fast and free, so you can start spreading the holiday cheer. Shop my hand-picked Birch Lane collection and more classic styles at birchlane.com.
You can support this podcast at patreon.com/partnersincrimemedia.
I'm Rebecca Lavoie, and this is Crime Writers On. Crime Writers On is the original true crime review podcast that digs into true crime, pop culture, other podcasts. And on this episode, one woman's complaints about children playing outside her home escalates to a tragic conclusion. But who does the law protect when a neighbor kills a neighbor? We'll talk about the documentary The Perfect Neighbor on Netflix. Joining me to get that done and more is true crime author, TV journalist, and host of These Are Their Stories podcast, my husband and love of my life, Kevin Flynn. Hello, Kevin.
Hello, Rebecca.
Also with us, private investigator, certified pet detective, resident cat lady, and author of the Piper Green series of cozy mysteries, Laura Bricker. Hello, Laura.
Hello, Rebecca.
And finally, it's Toby Ball. Hi, Toby.
Hi. I felt like I was coming down to The Price is Right, and then just like, here, Toby.
Yeah. Just kidding. Toby does lots of stuff. He does more like Ancient Failings. He has Strange Arrivals. He's written books. Hi, Toby.
All kinds of shit, yep.
He's on Grindr, apparently.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm just constantly...
Yes. All right, Kevin.
I'll just say to folks, you need to stick around for the very end of this podcast.
Absolutely. Or the very end of the last episode.
For the outtakes, yeah.
Yes.
All right.
Always stay for the outtakes. Some people don't even know they're there. Do you believe that?
I don't know.
It's wild. All right, so Kevin, what's coming up on the next edition of Crime Writers On?
We're going to talk about the film from Netflix. It's called The Woman in Cabin 10.
Can't wait to watch that trash.
You hated the book, right?
Oh, the book is so bad.
The two of you guys hated that book,
But I also listened to the sequel because that's how I am.
Okay.
Yeah, it's like in that little period where everything was like the girl or the woman, and it is like, okay, so they came up with some idea with a girl, and then you read it and you're like, they didn't think this through all the way clearly.
By the way, I believe, I can look it up, but I believe the sequel's name is The Woman in Room 11.
Room 11, yeah. Well, there you go.
Oh, God.
Or some shit like that.
What's the one where they're standing on the train platform and they keep going back and forth and like seeing all the stuff that's happening?
Oh, that's the Girl on the Train.
Girl on the Train?
That was the OG. That was the OG girl book.
No, it wasn't.
Yes, it was.
It was the girl with the dragon tattoo.
Yeah, but they weren't naming girl books until after The Girl on the Train. 100% not. And The Girl on the Train also spurred the whole Ruth Ware, the author of this thing, like narrative, British authors
Gone Girl.
writing unreliable narrators who have trembly voices during the audiobooks. I didn't know that would happen. Yeah, I'm a completist though. I will listen to fucking all of them because that's how I roll.
Oh, great. All right. Well, anyway, it's The Woman in Cabin 10.
All right. So, Kevin, I have one more thing to talk about.
Sure.
I had jury duty. I'm in between spates of jury duty.
That's right. Yes.
I get to report again this coming Tuesday.
You were not selected.
I wasn't, but I got to watch the voir dire.
The voir dire?
Yes, the voir dire. I got to watch jurors walk up to Judge St. Hilaire's thing and get questioned about their conflicts. Mm-hmm. I got to watch the lawyers question the panel. I'm like, I don't know why we have to stay for this. There's 80 of us, and those 14 people were picked. Can we leave? But no, I got to watch it all.
No, the lesson, your takeaway is to bring lunch.
Yes, and a book.
You guys,
and a book.
I read like half of my Kindle book. It was really great. And by the way,
it's fully charged.
If I haven't mentioned how great the Kindle Paperwhite is, it's freaking awesome. It lasts forever. It lasts forever. So yeah, Kevin, I'm excited to go back. Do you think I'm going to get picked on Tuesday? Yes or no?
I hope so, because you got so much out of it last time.
I loved it.
Yeah.
I absolutely love being a juror. And I think the next one is also a criminal case. So
all right.
Very excited about that.
Okay. And then you'll have to go back for the case.
I know.
Oh, my God.
All right. Should we talk about the thing we're talking about? It's quite the change of tone. I should just say that now.
Okay.
All right. Let's get it done. Leading off.
They shouldn't be screaming and, running around either. I mean, the parents aren't attending them. Obviously, they just
I understand it's a nuisance, but I'd rather kids be screaming because they're out here playing and have a good time than stealing cars and robbing people.
In February 2022, Florida deputies responded to a service call in which a white woman complained about black children in her neighborhood playing near her property. Though deputies found the behavior innocuous, Susan Lorincz continued to call the police on the kids, fueling growing tension among neighbors.
She will come outside, yell at them. Like, I have yelled at her before because these are children. I mean, everyone down this whole block has yelled at this lady because of how she talks to kids. And then when an adult says something, now she wants to call the police.
Then in June 2023, Ajike Owens went to Lorinz's door to confront her after the woman allegedly threw a roller skate at her son. Within minutes, gunshots rang out, leaving one woman dead and another in custody. Detectives were left to determine whether this was a case of self-defense or a premeditated attack.
If we were to look through everything in your phone or your home desktop computer, is there anything kind of research on your internet history that would show that you've done research on like self-defense? Or have you ever heard of the term stand your ground?
Yes.
Have you ever done any kind of research on that?
The documentary The Perfect Neighbor, now streaming on Netflix, is shot almost entirely through police body-worn camera footage. It recounts Lorinz's slow burn from Karen to killer and examines the racial disparity in the application of Florida's Stand Your Ground law, asking whether the suspect was motivated by fear or by anger. Spoiler alert, we're going to be talking about plot points from The Perfect Neighbor. So if you want to remain spoiler-free, go to the estimated time code in our show notes for our thumbs up or thumbs down reviews. Additional note, I am the host of Netflix's You Can't Make This Up podcast and will be interviewing the director of The Perfect Neighbor, but that has not influenced my review. So, Laura, I know you know a lot about the body-worn camera video. What do you think about using that to build suspense and build a narrative in this particular documentary?
Yeah, I was like, oh my God, I'm back at work. Because like I watch these videos all day long for work. And I'm like, oh my God, here we are.
Do you know like what all that code is at the top of the thing?
Yes.
With the okay, you can
Axon,
figure that out.
body-worn camera video too.
Exactly.
Yes,
Yeah, right.
That's the company. Anyway, on one hand, I'm like, oh, this is a really interesting choice. I'm like, okay, I could see some people saying, well, that was kind of lazy because they just took all this footage and just put it in there and didn't do anything with it. On the other hand, I'm like, okay, that's kind of brilliant because you're essentially seeing the unvarnished, uncensored, or so you think, because you don't know what camera stuff they left out. You're seeing a selection of the body-worn camera videos, kind of giving the story of not only what led up to this, but like how this plays out. Now, for me, it makes me seasick watching it. I don't know about you guys.
You need to change the settings on your TV, Laura. You can do that and it will make you less seasick, I promise.
Well, I watched it on my laptop, but I think what you see is like, I'm expecting to see cops acting like assholes. I didn't necessarily see that. I saw cops trying to be really fair and trying to like diffuse the situation. But I think in hindsight, you're like, did they miss that this lady was a total nut, that she was going to go crazy? I don't know.
They didn't seem to miss it. They seemed to basically know. I mean, she was a bad neighbor. She was not a perfect neighbor.
She was a bad neighbor, but like you don't know that she's going to go shoot somebody. But I think seeing it through the lens of the body-worn camera video, I think instead of having talking heads, I think it's interesting for people who may not know what it's like when first responders go out to like really see this play-by-play, right down to like when they close the interview room and you're sitting there just looking at an empty chair. You know,
right.
What it's like inside that system, I thought was very interesting.
What do you think, Kevin?
Oh, well, I love sort of the cinema verite feel that the body cam footage brings. What you get is you see how these things grow from something so small and likely routine for these officers, right? And it's like, oh, she yelled at me. Oh, she threw a sign. And, you know, it's not violent right? It's annoying when you're standing there with your arms crossed in your own driveway like, this fucking bitch, you know? And, I mean, Laura, you're right. When you look at it, you're not thinking, this is going to, I mean, you know it's going to end bad because they kind of hint that, but you cannot say that any of those neighbors or those deputies are like, this is going to end up with somebody getting killed, right? This just seems like the kind of call that they get over and over again, and they even call it out. Like, she can't keep calling. And I thought that the way that the deputies talked to the kids was really great. I mean, I think all of their responses were respectful and appropriate in all these situations. And it would have been easy to just, the lazy thing is just read the kids the riot act and tell them
don't go, stop playing.
Go over there.
Yeah.
But they were nice to the kids. They recognized they're just being fucking kids, you know?
I was a kid once. Everyone was a kid once. We're all loud as kids. We like to yell and scream and fight, and so I get it. But when it's close to someone's house, sure, it gets a little annoying sometimes. I won't lie, okay? But if you guys have permission to be over there, then, I can't really get on you guys too much.
I will say, just to be clear, if you have not seen the documentary, the neighbor's issue with these children is that they were playing outside. And they were playing on property they were allowed to play on. There was a lot next to this woman's rental home that the kids would play on. They would play in their yards. They would play in the street. And
not her property.
Right.
Someone else's property.
Her complaint, which was insane, was that they were like being animals. It was very, very racist complaints, that they were loud, that they were disrupting her work. But she said it in these very incendiary ways. And I think that, we don't see obviously all the body-worn camera footage of the cops, but I was pleased to see the cops understand the dynamics at play fairly quickly here. We hear from her all the time. She's a Karen, she's this, and these kids, all the kids are doing is playing. What are we going to tell them not to play? Like, it's ridiculous.
I love the one time where apparently they came because she accused the kids of trying to steal the truck. And there's this girl
put
says,
the dog in the truck.
We're 11.
Yeah. So, Toby, I know that you sometimes have a different point of view about things like, put together with raw footage. What do you think about the use of that in this documentary?
So I guess the first thing, if people think it's lazy to do it this way, they're out of their minds. It is so freaking hard to stitch together stuff like this to tell a narrative that you can follow. It's like absolutely a craft to be able to put something that is easy enough to follow as this one is. I think there is a certain, like, at least for me, like, I feel kind of voyeuristic when I'm watching these things. And for the most part, it's fine. I ended up fast forwarding through some of the part where they're talking to the kids about their mom dying. That felt a little bit intimate, and like, I didn't feel super comfortable intruding on that very sensitive family moment. Like, that seemed a little much for me. But I think the realities of these things, and stuff like this must happen thousands of times a day across the country, where there's these little sort of petty disputes between people. Again, like, it's hard to picture from these individual incidents that it's going to rise to the level where somebody's going to be killed. It did strike me that the response is always just to kind of stop things in the moment. Mm-hmm. There's never a time that you see, at least, where the cops are like, get somebody from one of the families or a couple people from one of the families and the woman and try and sit down and be like, we got to figure this out. Like, how are you guys going to live on the same block together? Like, there's none of that. It's just like, in the moment, we're going to put an end to it. We'll go away. We'll get a call in a few days. We'll come back. And I don't know if that's part, like, if maybe they just can't do that, or that takes some kind of training or whatever. But I found that, like, especially knowing the way it's going to end up, I found it kind of frustrating that it was just like trying to address the symptoms without actually addressing the underlying problem, which just festered and festered and festered.
And, before we canonize all of the deputies who were there, you're right, it's pretty easy to figure out these are 11-year-old kids. I wonder if they came back in 5 years and those kids are 16 and 17 years old, if the dynamic from law enforcement changes.
Yeah. I just keep thinking about what you just said, Toby, about getting people together, can you live together thing. That's just, that's not where we are as a country right now, right? You look at my town Facebook page, instant mistrust when somebody posts something. Instant. We are living in a culture of instant mistrust. We're living in a culture of open acceptance of open racism. We're living in a culture where confrontation is the norm instead of negotiation. It's bananas. It's absolutely bananas. And I think that, like, this woman is very much fueled by those dynamics. I mean, I bet she complains a lot on her neighborhood Facebook page, for instance. So
not anymore.
Yeah, that's true. So Toby mentioned something, Laura, about, the kids being told on camera that their mom died. Now, Toby, I totally respect that for you that was too much. I felt like it was akin to the importance of watching children like in a war zone and the consequences there. You need to see it to be able to understand it sometimes. I mean, it's like horrible to have to show it, but people don't get it unless they see it. I found it very affecting. Are there moments for you, Laura, that you feel like there are things you don't want to see in this body-worn camera footage?
Yeah, I actually felt like that particular footage was really important to show. Number one, these are the people, these are the little kids that are affected by losing their mother. And I'm sure they had to clear it with them before they did this. I actually read somewhere that the family was behind releasing this footage. It was raw. It was heartbreaking. It was overwhelming to watch. Like when the little boy...
When that kid says, I have a broken heart.
All right, are you hurt?
No. Okay. Well, my heart is broken.
I know, sweetheart. It's okay, baby. It's okay. I'll be okay.
And then when the dad gets there and the dad has to say, Mom's not coming back. But also, I was thinking like first responders, like these are the type of calls they go out on all the time. And it's hard and it's real. And I think in this case, where we see the contrast later with Susan, when she's being interviewed about this and she's like so callous and just so blasé about the fact that somebody died. And you're like, somebody died and these are the people that are affected. Then at the end, you see how these kids are continuing to be affected, blaming themselves for what happened. And they're like, your mother stood up for you,
Yeah.
It was a hard watch.
Yeah, I'm glad to hear that the family signed off on that idea and sort of allowing the world to see that pain, because you're right, it could feel a little voyeuristic. I will say, again, these are just things that there's a lot of body cameras there that the decision to use the one where the father finds out, as far as a great show and not tell, it was shot from an officer from a distance, and you see some other officers pull the man aside, and you just tell by his reaction where he jumps away, and you know what they were saying there, right? So I thought that was very powerful. I think that is a good insight from Kevin Flynn, and if you want more hot takes, you should join us on Patreon.
Yes. Oh my God, what a transition!
Well, I'm just trying. How do you get out of that? I was saying this. I'm like, I got to go to talk about Patreon.
This is just like when we pitch Fun Drive on public radio, and we're like pitching, like giving away a trip or something, and it's like coming out of the saddest NPR story, and you're like, well, that's why you should give us money.
That's right, yeah. Keep getting our hot takes. One way is by joining us on Patreon. Go to patreon.com/partners in crime media. You got all sorts of exclusive podcasts, including the Crime Writers on After Show, Toby Ball's Deep Dive Book Club podcast, Married with Podcast, our relationship advice podcast, Rebecca's Readathon, Karen Reed updates, and you get Laura Bricker's Leave It to Bricker. You also can join us at the Let's Do What We Do level and get stuff early and ad-free, and if you're a deep diver, you get to actually watch Toby and his guests discuss the books that they talk about. Now, the last one that's out is called The Adversary, and that was an interesting discussion, kind of mixed reviews, but Toby has been reading and prepping for the very next book, and what should people have on their Kindles to be ready to go for your discussion?
The book is called The Art Thief. It's by Michael Finkel. It's about a couple who lived in France, but right in this little area where France, Switzerland, and Germany all meet. And they went on this absolutely insane art heist binge where they were like hitting museums and castles and stuff like 3 or 4 times a month. It's just like stealing all kinds of stuff. And then they decorated their attic with it. But it turns out that they actually do it without any problem whatsoever. So it's pretty interesting.
Patreon's a great way to support us. By the way, you'll get more than 20 episodes of different podcasts every month. We are coming up, folks, on our 1,000th post
Incredible.
On Patreon.
What?
Yeah.
We're so productive.
There's about 900 different episodes, different things. It's a lot there. But
you get it all when you join, right?
You get it all when you join. You get all of it, and you even can try for 7 days for free, or you can even listen to individual episodes, get previews, get the first 3 minutes of them. We're just making it really easy for you. But If you can't support us on Patreon, that's fine. There are other ways that you can help us keep this show going. We have an Amazon storefront where you can see some of our favorite things. So when you go to Amazon, you stop at our page first and you get to see some of our recommendations. Rebecca, what are this week's Amazon recommendations?
Well, Kevin, I'm going to do mine on behalf of Laura Bricker this week.
Mhm.
She just ordered some stair treads for her basement stairs that she has almost died on twice now. She fell again, almost died. We would have gotten a horrible phone call about Laura Bricker's basement stairs finally murdering her.
Yeah.
So she finally got some stair treads, and I'm very happy for you, Laura Bricker.
So am I. They're going to be coming. They're going to be installed this weekend, and I just can't wait not to die on my stairs.
Yeah, very good. Toby Ball, you also have our listener-inspired Toby Ball's Deep Cut recommendations. What are this week's Deep Cut recommendations?
Well, the first one is sort of confirming a belief that I've had for a long time, and that is the Pidon Tofu Cat Litter Clumping Flushable Ultra Absorbent and Fast Drying 100% Natural Ingredients, Litter Solubility, and Water Really Dust Free Less.
What is the brand of cat litter? Pidon?
Yeah, yep. P-I-D-A-N,
Okay.
Pidon.
Okay.
Toby, have you figured out where to buy cat litter in Spain? Just asking for a friend.
I've actually not spent very much time researching that yet.
Okay,
but
just checking.
I imagine you can probably get it.
He knows how to say cat.
Yeah.
But he hasn't gotten to cat litter
Your
yet.
cat
on
is very elegant.
Duolingo.
Donde está el cat litter? Gato litter. Litter
Gato litter.
de gato.
Perfect.
Yep.
You'll be just fine.
Yeah, they'll understand exactly what I'm saying. My second thing is Jaja Fook, Astronomical Sphere Ball Deformation Ring Cosmic Finger Ring Lover Gifts Alloy Rings Gold 7.5.
Lover gift.
I don't know what the fuck that is, but it is
Ooh.
it is a sphere ball deformation ring.
Who doesn't love one of those? You can shop us. so shop us first at Amazon.com. Go Amazon.com/shop/Crime Writers On. Check us out real fast. Go on and do the rest of your business. We earn commissions on qualified purchases.
Go do the rest of your business.
Yeah, Prime Day, bitches. Yeah.
So, Kevin, do we have any Patreon patron saints of the week this week?
Our Patreon patron saints are Michelle Watson and Diane Dalby. Bless you.
Michelle and Diane, we could not make our show without people like you supporting us on Patreon, buying all that great content back there. You're really keeping our podcast going, and we so appreciate it. Congratulations on being named Patreon Patron Saint of the Week. Kevin?
Yes.
Does thus end the business section?
Thus ends the business section.
Let's go ahead and fade that music out. So, Kevin, do we have a sponsor for this program?
We absolutely do. It's our friend from Hello Fresh.
Hello Fresh.
Hola Fresco. Hey,
Hello.
fall is here, and so with the cooler nights, you know what that means? You want hearty meals.
Yep.
You want something that's going to stick to your ribs.
Yep.
And so that's where HelloFresh comes in, because not only do they ship chef-designed recipes and all the ingredients right to your door, but they give you a great variety. They have over 100 options each week. I will tell you that I recently went through, and there was quite a few things, quite a few combinations.
Really?
And so I'm really looking forward to the next delivery I'm going to be getting and making for you. Ready?
Okay.
The cherry balsamic sirloin.
Amazing.
Great thing, because HelloFresh, not only do you get really, great fresh vegetables and stuff that's seasonal, but now you can also get steak and seafood recipes delivered at no extra cost.
Incredible.
Hey, I could take a sirloin, I could just throw it on the grill with a little salt and pepper, and that's fine. Don't boo, that's good.
Boring.
That's boring. I like it where you can be able to take all those ingredients that they give you, no food waste, just enough proportion right, and then mix it up. And not only do you have a great sirloin, but you got a little hit of acid, and you got some sweetness to it, and that makes it all yummy, yummy.
The best way to cook just got better. Go to HelloFresh.com/CWO10FM.
CWO10FM.
Now to get 10 free meals plus a free item for life.
Ah.
1 per box with active subscription. Free meals applied as discount on first box. New subscribers only. Varies by plan. That's HelloFresh.com/CWO10FM.
CWO10FM.
To get 10 free meals plus a free item for life. Kevin.
Yes.
Do we have a sponsor for this program?
Yeah, we're brought to you by Rula.
Ooh.
Mental health care can get complicated, from trying to find the right therapist to dealing with out-of-pocket costs. That's where Rula comes in. They make therapy easy and affordable. So you go to their website, and you can get started in 4 easy steps. What's the first step?
Going to their website.
Okay. Okay, but then the real first step?
All right.
Tell us what's important. That is the best. They want to know, okay, tell us about yourself. How can we help you?
I know what I would say.
Is it don't look at me. It's depression, coping skills, impulsivity. That's where you're going to start. Second step, you can explore your matches. They have all sorts of licensed therapists. I'm not saying you're swiping right, but it's kind of like that. Find somebody that really works with you, and then you schedule your visit, and then you go online. And they also take most major insurance plans, so your average copay is only $15 a session.
Thousands have already trusted Rula to support them on their journey toward improved mental health and overall well-being. Head on over to Rula.com/CWO
CWO
to get started today. After you sign up, they ask you where you heard about them from. Please support our show and tell them that our show sent you.
Please.
Go to RULA.com/CWO
CWO
and take the first step toward better mental health today. You deserve quality care from someone who cares. Kevin.
Yes.
Who's the next sponsor on this podcast?
It's our good friends from Quince.
Oh, Kevin, look at me. I'm head to toe Quince today. I'm not kidding.
Yeah, I was going to just give it to me.
Just give it to me.
Just throwing that away.
Just throw away.
Okay, it's cooler days, and we just went on a vacation, and you have been spicing up your wardrobe with even more things from Quince.
It's the best. I mean, look, Kevin, right now I'm literally wearing the cotton shaker sweater in black. Isn't it cute? And the first time I've ever bought jeans from Quince, I bought these wide-legged jeans.
Yeah.
They are so high quality, and they were like $50, which, if you know women's jeans, you know is a deal for jeans. Their clothes are awesome. I bought so many of their clothes on our vacation. I brought sweaters, I brought dresses, I brought jackets, and I got so many compliments from other people on the ship. And I got compliments yesterday at work because I was also head to toe Quince.
Yeah, Mongolian cashmere for $50, premium denim that fits like a dream, and luxe outerwear that you'll wear year after year. You find all your fall staples at Quince. Go to quince.com/crime for free shipping on your order and 365-day returns. Now available in Canada too.
Wow.
That's QUINCE.com/crime to get free shipping and 365-day returns. Quince.com/crime.
So, Laura, Susan is actually arrested for the shooting. Of course, she's released later, which is wild. But we get to see her questioning, and she is clearly trying to build a case. Like, she's Googled stand your ground, and she's trying to say that what do you mean? I would have Googled that. And she's really trying. But what did you think about the tape of her being questioned by the police?
This was fascinating because, again, when they first released her, I'm like, of course they let the white woman go.
Yeah.
But then they bring her back in. And I was like, okay, these cops actually are giving her a legitimate questioning here. And they were actually like, you did this. These kids don't have a mother now. You shot through the door that was locked. You called, and 2 minutes later, you did this. You didn't wait more than 2 minutes. As soon as she called 911 and she says, oh, I'm fearing for my life. And then she claims the kids said they would kill me. Their mother said she would kill me. She was pounding on my door. I'm like, oh, she is setting this up to say that she was justified. But what was interesting is she would fluctuate between and you hear her on the 911 call, hysterical, and then she's fine.
Yeah.
And then she's upset, and then she's fine. And so you could see both sides to this where you're like, oh, she's full of shit. And you're like, I hope that they're seeing that she's full of shit. When she's, sounding upset, and then she's like, well, they wouldn't stop fucking with me and bothering me. And I'm like, that's not really what I would say right now if I was you, Susan.
Is there any reason why anybody would have any video or anything like that of you saying the N-word? Is there any reason why someone would have that?
I have no idea. And if I did let it go, I'm sorry. I could have slipped out.
And then when she's like, oh, close the door, the cats are inside. I'm like, again, I'm a cat lady, but you're about to be charged, Susan. You just killed somebody. There was no accountability in her mind for what she had done because she was totally justified. Watching that interview, I was getting more and more enraged. And then I was like, you know what? She is a symptom of a larger problem.
Yeah.
This is a window into what is happening with this type of behavior. And here is just one example of how this behavior is playing out where somebody thinks they are totally fine to shoot over something like this. My favorite part, though, I don't know about you guys, was when they're like, okay, we're placing you under arrest. She's like, no, I'm not doing this now.
I'm not going.
I'm not going.
I just can't do this.
Okay. Well,
come on, Susan, stand up.
If
we don't have time to debate.
I can't do this.
Okay, but do you understand that you're under arrest and you're going to be taken to the jail one way or another, okay?
I don't care.
Susan?
I just can't do this. I'm sorry.
She's like, I'm going to leave you a 1-star Yelp review because I don't like this.
You really are a Karen, yeah.
Yeah, no. And she just sits there.
She expects that they're going to let her stay. She expected it.
Yeah. And so I watched how the cops handle it. I'm like, good for them, because I would have been like, bitch, get your ass up right now.
Yeah.
But they didn't. The one cop is like, Susan, you are the one who planned this. What you're explaining doesn't make sense. And then at one point says, I see 4 kids that no longer have a mother. And there's no way to justify that in my mind. So I appreciated that we saw actual questioning, because I didn't think we were going to.
Well, we often see cops in different parts of Florida. We've heard about these cases where they ask someone they've arrested or someone who shot somebody, were you standing your ground, to try to be able to evoke. I think the stand your ground law is also a symptom of what's going on in the country right now. The law itself is absolutely wild. It's absolutely wild that you can justify shooting somebody just because they came to your door. Toby Ball, what did you think about Susan's strategy and her questioning as we saw it on the video?
Yeah, I mean, it's just so obvious what's going on. I think she felt like she had a plan, but she's not really smart enough or has it together enough to try and pull it off. I mean, because all she can do is just say the criteria for which she might get off of it, and she's unable to kind of branch out beyond that. I think that's also sort of, if you think you can shoot a black woman because she's banging on your door and get away with it, it might be because you're a racist.
Or it might be because other people have gotten away with it too.
I wonder if there's some mental health stuff going on with her too, but whatever it is, she's not quite understanding what's going on. I think has an assumption that she's going to get away with it. I assume because she's white and the person she shot was black. And I think is very surprised that the cops are giving her such a hard time about it, or that they won't let her do what she wants to do. And then she writes this fucking ridiculous letter that takes her 30 seconds to write. It's sorry I killed your mom.
Sorry I made you feel bad.
I was fearing for my life. Love, Susan.
I love how the cop reads it.
Yeah, the cop, for some reason, reads it aloud in the empty room. But
I think that's to get it on the record.
Yeah, it was nice for us for the documentary.
I am so sorry for your loss. I never meant to kill your mother. I was terrified your mom was going to kill me. I shot out of fear.
If there's any way in which she was not completely guilty and horrible, you'd be like, it feels like right off the bat, the chief of police, is that the guy who's if some lady threw a roller skate at my kid, I'd be angry as hell. It's whoa, that's quite a statement to be making in the middle of this investigation, I guess, at that point. You end up feeling okay because it's all against this person who is clearly guilty, and it's not even as though it was some weird out of nowhere act. It's just been building and building and building and building and building.
Right.
But I think there is a question about, is there some responsibility by the authorities in situations like this to, even if it's not going to end up in a murder, but it's just going to be a constant stream of police calls. At what point do you do something more than just every single time just separate people and then move on? And I think the other thing that kind of came up that was interesting and didn't really fit with the whole narrative in general, other than just to her frame of mind, was the whole thing where she rammed her truck into a fence a whole bunch of times. And then didn't she say she was scared for her life for that one too? And she was like, I've been raped and assaulted and stuff. And so when he locked the gate on my truck, I freaked out. So again, I mean, it seems like another thing where maybe that should have raised red flags and maybe not sell her guns. I don't know.
Yeah. Or ask if maybe they should have asked her, do you have any weapons in the house? That would be a question I would be curious about.
Yeah. When you're doing a documentary, especially like you said, when you're relying on extemporaneous footage, you get what you get. So as far as a documentarian, it's only as good as what you're able to capture. And I think part of that police interview tip, and we've seen a lot of this on Dateline and whatever, and it's just sort of check the box and move thing along. And it's just to build up to the scene where they put the cuffs on the guy. This one does kind of reveal as much about the person as it does about the incident. And, I think we're all thinking stand your ground laws, but the way it comes into this documentary and presented to the viewer is that it's presented as the fact is, did you research this first? Like in that minute, it flips everything around, at least for me. I'm like, oh, not only am I thinking that this was premeditated, like this is a way to prove it was premeditated. Now, I will say that I did do a quick Google on this, and that while she did admit like researching it in the past, they didn't have any evidence that she had recently done that. Like they asked, would we find that on your phones? They didn't have warrants at that time for her devices and whatnot.
It was a good way to find out if she was aware, though.
It was a good way to find out if she was aware and that she knew that. And of course, again, she should have a lawyer with her.
Yes,
everyone should.
Even she has
Even
rights.
she. And I think that she didn't do herself any favors.
Question, Kevin,
Yeah.
we watched the credits, and in
Yeah.
the credits, you actually see Susan's trial.
That was interesting.
Yeah, Laura, were you surprised that she was convicted?
I don't think I was surprised. I was just like, good. I'm glad she was convicted. I couldn't believe how different she looked. I thought it was really interesting to watch. Like, you see her in the beginning, and now you're like, okay, this is what I'm like, what I thought was interesting is that her demeanor did not seem to have changed in terms of this vibe that she was giving off when she sat there. It was like when they sentenced her to guilty and she got up to walk out, she was just like scoffing. Like, I'm like, fuck you.
I like that they included that with the credits.
Yes.
Because I think it makes, like, the literal sense makes that an epilogue. For those who like think, the last chapter and epilogue are like the same thing. The distinction is that an epilogue is written in a different tone and it is designed to be set apart from sort of the story, like it's complete, but this is like the footnote to it. And I think by basically saying this trial is not part of this story in that sense, that this is what the story is, it's not leading up to conviction or whatever the surprise is. We want you to think about this whole stand your ground issue and the way that this played out. It started with a noise complaint about children. But did I think she was going to get convicted? A white woman killed a black woman who was allegedly knocking down a woman's door in Florida with the stand your ground law. Said, nope, she's going home, because that's the way they're going to roll. And so it was good that they obviously made the right call on that.
They made the right call in prosecuting her, too, which they could have declined to do. So, Kevin, finally, I don't want to virtue signal here, but we fucking love it when we hear kids playing in our neighborhood. And we're old. And our neighbors got a trampoline last year, and the kids are always out there with their friends, and they're screaming, and we're like, isn't this nice? Like, isn't it? It makes it sound like a neighborhood. Now, Laura, I know you don't have kids in your neighborhood, and Toby, I know you're cranky, so you might have different opinion. But.
Well, I'll tell you that I live in a neighborhood of my condo development, mostly retired folks.
Yes.
And when my son had his high school graduation party, all of his friends came in, and we said it was like the Fast and the Furious coming into my neighborhood. And I was like, I pulled in, they were out like throwing a football. They were riding like a skateboard around. And I was like, oh my God, my neighbors are going to be so upset. And they were all like, oh, it's great.
Yeah.
So
yeah, it was all good until this 5-year-old tried to put a Great Dane in my Prius, and I had to.
On October 28th, ID presents a new documentary event.
There's blood all over.
For 23 days in 2002, the DC sniper terrorized the nation.
He decided who lived and who died.
But behind the headlines,
The DC sniper was my ex-husband. My story has never been told.
was his true motive.
His ex-wife, she was a target.
He could kill her. She would just be another random victim of the DC sniper.
Don't miss Hunted by My Husband, the untold story of the DC sniper. October 28th on ID.
Hey everybody, it's Babs. One thing that makes the holiday season so magical is the traditions we share year after year. And that's why I'm so excited to tell you about Birch Lane. Their classic furniture and festive decor is carefully crafted to bring joy to every seasonal celebration. Plus, it's delivered fast and free, so you can start spreading the holiday cheer. Shop my hand-picked Birch Lane collection and more classic styles at birchlane.com.
At Designer Shoe Warehouse, we believe that shoes are an important part of, well, everything.
From first steps to first dates, from all-nighters to all-time personal bests.
From building pillow forts to building a life.
For all the big and small moments that make up your whole world, DSW is there. And we've got just the shoes. Find a shoe for every you from brands you love at brag-worthy prices at your DSW store or DSW.com.
All right, let's do what we do. Let's let our listeners know, should they check out The Perfect Neighbor on Netflix? Laura Bricker, thumbs up or thumbs down for The Perfect Neighbor?
Yeah, I'm going to go thumbs up on this. I think this was a really unique way to tell a story completely through body-worn camera footage. It can be a little overwhelming because it's busy. You're going along essentially like as this is unfolding. I think that was really interesting in this case because it really showed how this case started from beginning to end. And you really can make your own decisions about the players and the people involved and what happened. And, I think this is an issue that we're going to hear a lot about, nationally. And this is like a snapshot of how did this issue play out in one instance. And if you agree or don't agree with Stand Your Ground, this case and this documentary could certainly, give you a little bit more insight as you're kind of realizing what this means when this is being implemented in so many places around the country. And I think there are parts about this that made me want to rage watch. So there you go.
Toby Ball, thumbs up or thumbs down for The Perfect Neighbor?
Yeah, so first of all, the job that they do stitching together all this archival footage into a narrative that you can follow along with very easily is from somebody who's tried to do similar stuff. If you're not adding voiceover and stuff to kind of get you from one place to another, it's hard, man. And the fact that they are able to do this and there's no point at which you're wondering what's going on or anything like that, I thought it's an impressive feat of putting stuff together. As far as the content of it, it's interesting. I mean, it kind of shows how like these, I wouldn't say petty necessarily, but you wouldn't think it was like this huge thing, at least to begin with. A dispute between a neighbor and her neighbor's kids can sort of grow and grow and grow to the point, and this isn't really a spoiler because you find out about it in the first 30 seconds, but it ends up with a shooting. And I guess watching it as it escalates and knowing what's going to happen, but also kind of seeing that people don't really realize that that's what's going to happen and that the perception of it actually escalating might not even be there because the different steps seem pretty small increments. I mean, it doesn't seem like she's any more angry right beforehand than she was at the beginning. So I think it's an interesting look at that kind of thing. And it's the kind of sort of neighborly dispute that must happen freaking all the time. And the idea that you can identify when it's going to actually turn super violent or not must be sort of one of those daunting things that police have to deal with. So anyway, there's a lot there to think about. I thought it was interesting. So I'm a solid thumbs up.
Kevin Flynn.
I'm also a thumbs up. This is a film that's been on the festival circuit for a long time. And now that it is dropping on Netflix on Friday, the world gets to see it. I think that the whole cinema verite aspect of using all body cam footage, I think it was probably difficult to edit, but ends up being really powerful. We're seeing this style more and more, but this, you're basically going to go virtually all body cam. It should be interesting, and it is. They do a good job of bringing us the not only just the good parts, but the important parts that just seem small. They are small, and it is like watching two trains on the same track coming around a corner, and they don't know they're going head on. It's compelling. It draws you right in. It is propulsive in the sense that you know more than they know. It's almost Hitchcockian in that way. All these little things are going to lead up to a tragedy, and it doesn't have to hit you over the head with the issues involving race and the issues involving self-defense laws and just the idea about whether or not somebody is afraid in their own home or they've made themselves afraid. Anger is just another form of fear, and it makes you do wonder what's been going on in people's heads, even though you know what the result is. So I thought this was a really interesting watch, and it's something that people are going to be talking to their coworkers about. So thumbs up for me for The Perfect Neighbor.
Yeah, I really like this too. I didn't just like it for the issues it raises. I liked it for basically the banal scenes of kids playing and this woman complaining about them. This is something that people should see. People should see how Black children are treated by white people in this country. People should see it. These people should see for themselves little kids having the police called on them for playing in their own neighborhood. It is absolutely worth watching for a multitude of reasons that others mentioned that I won't repeat. But I super like this documentary, and I hope you watch it. So it's a big thumbs up for me. All right, that's going to do it for us. But before we go, Laura Bricker, do we have a cat of the week this week?
This is Winslow. She's a 31-year-old Ruby Macaw. We rescued her about 8 years ago, and quickly she became our princess. She is obsessed with my husband and tolerates me. Her favorite words are, hi, baby, kiss, here, kitty, kitty, and meow.
Oh.
Before we rescued her, she lived in an orthodontist's office. When a phone rings, she will occasionally say, I will be right with you. She also says, doctor. Our lives revolve around her and our other macaw, Rosie. And this comes to us from Abby B. from Saugatuck, Michigan.
All right, Laura Bricker, I know folks can email us their animals to be Cat of the Week, but how can they find you online on social media?
You can find me at Laura Bricker on Instagram and Blue Sky.
What about you, Toby Ball? How can you be found online?
Send me your crypto tips to Twitter at TobyBallNH.
What about you, Kevin?
And your shirtless pics at Kevin P. Flynn.
You can follow me everywhere at Reb Lavoie. I'm on Blue Sky. I'm still on X for stupid reasons. And I'm on Instagram. But mostly you should join our incredible Crime Writers on Facebook group. If you've seen the page and commented there, hit the link to join the group. It's great in there. Get everything we make on Patreon at patreon.com/partnersincrimemedia. That's how you can support this podcast. Our theme song is by Tyler Gibbons, and our editor is the wonderful Livy Burdett. The EP of this show is Kevin. This show was recorded in Studio C, the closet in our New Hampshire basement, where we also tell the neighborhood kids to stay off our lawn.
Stay off my lawn!
On behalf of all the crime writers,
and
thanks so much
lawn.
for listening. We will catch you later.
I get, like, on Blue Sky, I've been getting a lot of, like, gay thirst trap stuff. I'm like, what the fuck did I click on that it suddenly got me? Like, so I just get all these pictures of, like, dudes, like, super jacked dudes with, like...
Showing off their bellies?
Well, yeah, with their, like, jeans, like, pulled down so you can see, like, the very top of their penis or something. I'm like...
Yeah.
Like, what the hell how did I get... Why am I getting this? Like, I don't want to go and be like, I don't want to see any more of this because that feels very homophobic and I want to be open. But at the same time...
Wait a minute. You're not saying this content's not for me because you don't want the algorithm to think you're homophobic?
Dude, the algorithm, you don't know what's going on with those algorithms.
It's a robot, Toby.
In crime media.
Hey everybody, it's Babs. You know, one thing that makes the holiday season so magical is the traditions we share year after year. And that's why I'm so excited to tell you about Birch Lane. Their classic furniture and festive decor is carefully crafted to bring joy to every seasonal celebration. Plus, it's delivered fast and free, so you can start spreading the holiday cheer. Shop my hand-picked Birch Lane collection and more classic styles at birchlane.com.